Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, this week we got a big topic.
A big topic.
Really big topic.
For a comedy show to cover.
So we should just jump right in. I had a question for you, but I can ask it later.
It's
not a personal question or anything. Maybe it's more of a philosophical question. Maybe it'll be good to maybe this conversation will open your mind a bit before I pose this question to you.
So, all right, the topic today is meditation.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Oh, how are you doing this week?
Great. So the topic is meditation. And we have a lot to cover.
Yes.
But you have this question that you've teased.
Hey, you're going to have to tune in later. Don't skip ahead. Just wait. No, I'll ask it later.
But now I'm going to be distracted the whole time.
Well, don't worry about it.
Can you give me a hint about what the question?
I gave you a hint. It's kind of like a philosophical question.
A philosophical question.
Yeah, it's not like a personal question. No, I'd be like, where were you Thursday night?
Tom, can I tell you something real quick before we get into the topic?
You
meditation?
can't remember anything past like a day ago, right?
I bought one of these. I remember things like if you told me, like if you were just like, "Hey, remember that time you went to that restaurant with your wife?" Like, yes, I remember it.
Well, that's sad, Tim. You should. It only happened once. That's all. That's all the information you need.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, no, I remember it very well.
What? I can't be eating out more than once in a lifetime.
Right. Who's got that kind of money in this economy?
No, that's burning money. Also, they spit in your food, Tom. Even if they like you, they spit in your food.
No,
if they don't like you, they spit in your food to razz you. But if they like you, it's like, no, it's nice. It's like a term of endearment.
No, if they want to be nice, they kiss your food.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine.
But they French kiss your food, Tom. And that's as bad as spitting.
That's why there's always a hole in my burritos.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
in the middle. That's where a tongue was.
Yeah. Ugh. Somebody tongue kisses your burrito.
Yeah.
But
has this burrito been tongue kissed? You can ask a
compliments
waiter.
of the chef, and then you look into the
yes, sir. It has.
You look into the kitchen, and through that little window, you see the chef give the chef's kiss.
Yeah, mwah.
Yeah, it's like I wish you gave the burrito a chef's kiss instead of a French kiss.
Hey, give the burrito a chef's kiss. Give me a tongue kiss.
Yeah, come on, chef. What was I saying? Oh, so I bought one of these 5-year journals. Do you know this?
5 years.
Yeah, that was Bob Dylan's cover of David Bowie's 5 years.
Right.
Okay. I bought one of these.
That was from the commercials for the journals, right?
Yeah, exactly. They got Bob Dylan, but they couldn't license one of his songs.
Right.
So
well, he has a lot of artistic integrity about that. He's like,
exactly.
But I'll cover another song.
And you got to put ladies in lingerie.
What?
Remember the only commercial he ever appeared in for a while was the Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
That was like next level thinking. That was like
like, you don't have to pay me. Just get a bunch of beautiful women in lingerie to surround me.
But like he did like the weird celebrity thing of like, I'm just going to do a weird thing. Like 2 decades before every celebrity is going to be, it's like, hey, wouldn't it be random if I was in this weird commercial?
Yeah.
Right?
You remember, like, when we were kids, or not even, like, kids, like, teenagers, we would get our minds blown when they would be like, hey, like in Japan, Arnold Schwarzenegger's in a commercial.
Yeah.
And it was the most insane, like, what? He's way too big of a celebrity to be in a commercial. This is insane. And nowadays, everybody's in commercials.
Yeah, they had too much integrity to do a commercial in front of an American audience.
Yeah.
But now they're just like hawking diet pills on Twitter and stuff.
Right. Well, and now like somebody like a Matthew McConaughey, when he started doing Lincoln commercials, like people were like, oh, look at another great Matthew McConaughey performance. He's doing these Lincoln commercials. Even when it came out later that Lincoln had to like throw those cars in a river because he doesn't wear deodorant. And he stunk up all the cars too much.
That happened?
That's the story. That like Matthew McConaughey is one of those guys who doesn't wear deodorant, And
But how bad could that guy smell? His natural musk is probably quite nice.
yeah, but I imagine like all day in a car with like the lights and everything, they were
Yeah.
just like, we can't even fumigate this thing. I mean, did they ever sell cars from commercials to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, like the one that they used in the commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they just throw it out.
No, but they probably, I don't know, they probably do something else. They probably are like, this will be like a display car or whatever anyway.
Yeah, it belongs at a museum.
Right.
The McConaughey car.
I thought you were going to say the McConaughey Museum.
Well, that too. Have you been there?
But all the cars
It's
he's
Lincolns
driven.
and bongos as far as the eye can see.
But yeah, I mean, when somebody like that does those commercials, like nobody was like, oh, look at him degrading himself. People are like, no, wow, yeah, he does a good job in the commercials. People love commercials now.
Yeah. Hey, when I tune in to see the big game,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not watching the game. I'm watching the commercials. So I bought myself one of these 5-year journals.
Yeah.
And what it is it's every day, every page is another day of the year. They go chronologically.
Page is another day.
And that's
that was their older commercials.
yeah, when they had to explain to everybody.
Yeah,
what
they
it
got
was.
Cheryl Crow to
Yeah.
come and sing
Her own song.
her own song, but with different words.
Yeah. Every page is a different day.
Well, now you're thinking of when they got Bob Dylan to come in and cover her song for
her
his
parody song.
for
yeah.
his second round of commercials after he had
It was a
already-
throwback. It was like, remember these vintage commercials?
yeah. Well,
But we've
here's a way
updated
you've never
it
heard him
with
before.
a Bob Dylan twist.
Yeah.
You've heard Bob Dylan go electric, but never like this.
Right. But have you heard him go parody?
Oh man, I mean the Christmas album, and then the 2 or 3 albums of like songs made famous by Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
The next step is a Weird Al style.
Right. Like, let's hear what you got, Bob. You know, give us some wacky lyrics to songs we already know and love.
He also, I think, in the '80s did that one where he like did like old like Froggy Went a Courtin' and stuff, like old like folk songs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I never like when.
Parody is the next.
Yeah.
The next avenue or the next thing for the next dragon for Bob Dylan to slay.
Whenever a band, like when Aerosmith was like, here's like an album of us doing like old blues standards.
Honking on Bobo, you talking about?
Yeah. It's like, nobody wants this, man. Come on.
So every page is a day of the year, and it goes chronologically. So January 1st,
Uh-huh.
January 2nd, January 3rd. And it's split
And then what? What after that?
January 4th,
Okay. And then?
the 5th of January.
And after that?
The 6th day of the first month.
Ah. And so on and so
yeah,
forth.
Yeah. And then, and then again, February 1st, February 2nd,
Right.
and so on.
All right.
And each page is subdivided into 5 sections of a few lines each.
Okay.
So you're supposed to just jot down what year it is,
Right.
and the date is up there on top. And then you write a couple lines about like what you did that day, notable things, right? So it's supposed
not
to be
like your thoughts. It's not like a diary.
I mean, it can be whatever you want,
Right.
but I got it for like, hey, I if you ask me what it's we're recording this on Wednesday. If you ask me what I did Sunday,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
So
And you plan on in the future being implicated in crimes where you'll need an alibi.
yeah, I mean, shouldn't we all be? What if I'm up for Supreme Court justice?
Isn't it insane? I've always thought it's insane that like
People's friggin' diaries and calendars are just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, he's got a scheduler and he has all this stuff where it's like he could have just made all that up. He could have just written that in. I'm not talking about the Kavanaugh thing. I'm just talking like in general. That's always like an ironclad, and like in TV shows and movies and stuff, they're always like, no, he got his old date book, and no, on the day the murder happened, he was at the movies.
Yeah, and also like,
and there's no way that could be faked.
yeah, like, what kind of maniac A keeps a diary like that,
Right.
and B if like they murdered somebody, it would be like, oh, murdered a lady
Right.
who wasn't at the movie. If
At the very least, you
murdered
surely
somebody,
wouldn't keep that date blank. You would put, did my laundry.
yeah, went to the movies.
Yeah.
Movies is a tough alibi though, because then you have to know what happened in the movie.
Well,
So make sure it's a movie you've seen. Like I would always, if I murdered you right now, I'd go home and write Wednesday night. Went to see The Three Amigos.
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, well, what happened in that movie then?
You got to find a movie
And be
that's
like,
currently in
oh,
theaters.
it's a delightful romp. Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Chevy Chase. When have you ever heard Martin Short listed first in that movie? I just wanted to do that. Give them a thrill.
Here's what you got to do. You got to do it for a movie that it would be believable that you'd see twice 2 days in a row.
So you can go on a spree?
Well, so you can put it, you can put in the calendar like, I went to see, Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
But then to make sure that when they ask you what happened, you go see it the next day. But you put that in the calendar too, so they can't trip you up in case somebody else saw you at the movie theater.
Right.
But it would have to be a movie that you could be like, oh, yeah, it was so good I went back to see it the next day. Like,
Yeah.
You couldn't do it for a real stinker because then people would be like, nobody'd see that movie twice in a row. Let's give this guy the chair.
Yeah. And then boom. Next thing you know, you're being electrocuted to death.
Yeah.
So I bought one of these things.
Let's give this guy the chair. And I'm not talking about the moving chairs at the 4DX theaters.
Hey, if that's the punishment for a crime, then
Hey,
it's time to do crimes.
If that's
as far as
the
I'm
chair, then I'm guilty as hell.
concerned. So I bought one of these 5-year journals,
Mm-hmm.
and I just haven't been writing in it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. We should talk about meditation at some point.
Yeah. You want to do it now?
Yeah, but I'm wondering about that question.
Well, you'll have to wait. You'll have to tune in later. Not tune in later. You'll have to stay tuned in.
Who are you getting mad at, me?
Yes. Tim, what do you know about meditation?
Tom, I love meditation.
You do?
I do. Did you not know that about me?
No. I mean, I guess maybe if I had to think about it for more than a second, I'd be like, yeah, I bet Tim is a meditator.
Yeah. I mean, my big problem is the same problem I have with that 5-year journal in that, like...
Doing it.
Yeah, actually doing it. Because, like...
100%.
Meditation, all right, for people who don't know, it's just sitting there, right? That's what meditation is?
I mean, it's more than that, but that's the basics.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. Maybe we should have looked up the exact definition of meditation, but everybody knows what meditation is.
Yeah, it's for the most part. I mean, you can do like there are like walking meditations and stuff, but it's like about in some way letting your mind like unwind itself, I guess, maybe calming your mind. Would that be a general?
Yeah, I would say it's more accurately the action or practice of meditating.
Tim, you'd have to read that to come up with that kind of definition. Huh? And then what is meditating?
I'm sorry?
What is meditating?
It's like clearing your mind and stuff.
Yeah.
Tom, so do you look, here's the thing. Everything, like when you're a kid, kids are
Everything's meditation.
No, nothing's meditation. It's all cartoons and sugary cereal, am I right?
Those were the days.
But you think of meditation as like you're going to go into like this trance, right?
Yeah,
and you're just going to like
home.
Yeah, and you're going to like your mind is just going to like go to this higher plane, right?
Yeah.
And one time I went to a yoga class.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a hot yoga class, Tom.
Yeah.
And at the end we had to meditate, and I was like, okay, here we go. Before I go throw up in the parking lot is what I did. I'm going to sit here and meditate.
Why'd you do it in the parking lot? Why didn't you go to the bathroom?
Because I didn't know I was going to throw up till I was walking to my car, and I was like,
I thought you were saying you did the hot yoga, went to the parking lot, threw up, went back for the meditation.
No. I went and struggled through the Bikram yoga.
Yeah, hot yoga.
Then we meditated.
Mm.
And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go home. And then I got a blast of cold air out there. And I think my body just went into shock.
Yeah.
I just puked everywhere in the parking lot.
It's like,
and then I went back 3 days later and the same thing happened.
Yeah, well, in both times your body was like, hey, let's teach this asshole not to do this to us.
Yeah.
What's the thing he hates? Throwing up. All right, send the signal.
So I was so bummed
Yeah.
because at the end you meditate. And I was like, all I did was just sit quietly in the room with my eyes closed, and nothing happened. I thought I thought I was gonna feel like I was floating and have all the
especially
answers.
after that kind of physical exertion, probably you were like,
yeah,
oh, I'm about to be freed of my earthly shackles.
But also, if that's all it took to have a head trip or something.
Right. If that's all it took to throw up.
No. Throwing up was definitely the heat and the change of temperature and the fact that I was not good at yoga. But I was expecting meditation to be a thing where it's like, oh, it'll feel great. It's like
It'll feel great. I'll
then
leave
why
here
wouldn't everybody
enlightened.
do it all the time if it was just oh, you feel amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a practice, Tom. It's something that you only really see benefit from if you do it on a regular basis, preferably every day, maybe multiple times a day, Tom.
And that's the only way you can get to Carnegie Hall as well.
For the meditation summit
No,
that's coming
to
up there?
practice, Tim, practice.
Yeah, the meditation practice. They're having a summit at Carnegie
Oh,
Hall.
okay. Well, so then
A yogi's flying in, Tom.
Without a plane? Just cross-legged, across the ocean?
No, that's offensive.
It's
but
not offensive. Some people can levitate, Tim.
I don't know if that's true.
We had I don't know if you ever had her, but I had a teacher in high school that claimed she saw somebody levitate.
I never had that teacher, but I heard the story.
Yeah.
And that made me not want to have the teacher.
This teacher, she was
It's like when a 5-year-old tells you they saw Santa Claus in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve. It's like, oh, all right. This has gone too far.
Well, so this teacher, she was a social studies teacher, and she would go on trips every summer. That was how she spent her
that
summers.
long to think of the word trips?
Because trips does not fully explain it, because she would go on 2.5 month, 3 month journeys.
Okay.
To and it's not like she went to freaking St. Petersburg in Florida or whatever and just laid on a beach.
Just St. Petersburg in Russia.
Yeah, she would go to exotic locales throughout the world. And then come back with tales. And yeah, I distinctly remember her coming back.
Sonic's friend?
Oh God, I wish.
Hey, look who I caught in a cage.
Miles Tails Prowler.
She would go on these trips.
She'd go on these trips.
Come back with tails.
And then she'd be like, if I get stuck on a lower platform, check out what he can do. And he would spin his tails around and start helicoptering.
No, that's not what she said.
And then she would hold his hands and he would lift her up onto the ledge she had missed.
This story is as suspect as her actual story, Tom.
No, she came back from India and was telling us about how she saw a yogi or whatever meditate so hard that he levitated. And I swear to God, the next 3 classes were just an inquisition of her. Just, all of us teenagers being like...
It's like the principal and superintendent called in to,
no,
fire her?
No, it was nothing like that. And I don't know why she kept entertaining our questions, because our questions were basically
they were not in good faith.
No, and they were just I have a question. No, you didn't.
That's definitely a bad faith question.
Yeah, and then she'd be like, no, I did. And we'd be like, I have a follow-up. No, you didn't.
You liar.
Yeah, and we would ask follow-up. I mean, we would.
You should have asked if she had taken drugs.
That was asked.
Oh.
We were like, oh, did they give you something? Did they slip you something? She'd be like, no. Be like, did you like push the guy to see if he would still float? No. Are you sure you saw this? Yes. No, you didn't. Although, have you ever seen, like, I wish I could go back and continue the line of questioning. Because you ever see the people that do it in places like India for like, like it's like a street performer thing where they get tips, but like they have their hand resting on a cane.
Oh, yeah.
But then the cane has like a bar running along their sleeve, and they're just sitting on an attached seat. Like that's cool. I mean,
Tom,
that's
not
magic.
just in India. I saw that one time in Orlando, Florida.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
it's come that far.
Yeah, to the mouse house.
And that's fine. That's cool. It's a magic trick, but
Yeah.
like that's not.
Look, I don't know. I'm not here. The one thing I want to say is that I know there's a lot of religious, practice that has to do with meditation. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, we're
And
not
I'm
talking
not
about
here.
that
I'm
stuff.
not here to
I mean, I would argue like
rain on anybody or to crap on anybody's beliefs. Or whatever.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would argue that like pretty much every mainstream religion has some kind of meditative practice. Even things like Catholicism, like the repetition of prayers and stuff, like that's a type of meditation.
Man.
They might not
Imagine
call it
doing
that,
the
but it is.
rosary every day.
Or we're doing it like 100 times because you sinned.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
But
That's why I don't sin. I'm a good boy.
But I could see how, if you had to do that like 100 times, you're putting yourself into a meditative trance, kind
Right.
of.
I've been.
If you do it enough times, God appears and tells you you've been bad.
Squarespace. Tom, you know about Squarespace. We use them.
Yeah.
So many people use them. Look, there's so many things you could do with Squarespace. You can create a beautiful website to turn your cool idea into a new website and showcase your work, blog or publish content, sell products and services of all kinds, promote your physical or online business, announce an upcoming event or special project, and more. Tom, we use Squarespace between the two of us for most of those things.
Yeah,
Neither of
we use
us
the
is
heck out
really
of 'em.
blogging all that much.
I blogged today.
Really?
Yeah, how dare you?
Okay. We got a
I was gonna say like
got a regular Ariana Huffington over here.
Yeah, no, I've been jumping back into my website because I got a new book coming out next month, and
This is a Squarespace ad, Tom, not a Tom
I know, but I'm
Reynolds
just
ad.
saying I blogged about it, and I was reminded of how easy it is to blog, and I'm like, I should redesign my website while I'm in here.
Well,
And I was like, well, that's going to be like a big to-do. But then not a big to-do at all. Very easy.
yeah, Tom, you can think it, dream it, make it with Squarespace. You did all those things today.
I did.
Squarespace gives you all these things, Tom. Beautiful templates created by world-class designers, powerful e-commerce functionality that lets you sell anything online, a whole bunch of other stuff. Go check them out. 24/7 award-winning customer support, Tom.
Very easy to swap out the templates. I can tell you from experience.
Yeah. Nothing to patch or upgrade ever.
No.
All that kind of stuff. You know. Look, get on with Squarespace. Just friggin' do
You'd
it.
be insane to go anywhere else.
Yeah. Go to squarespace.com/guide for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GUIDE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace. Think it, dream it, make it with Squarespace. Welcome back to half of the audience that remains after the first segment.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, you meditate.
Tim, why'd you do that like there's a camera crew?
What do you mean?
You did that very much like a TV show. Like,
Yeah,
welcome back.
Yeah, professional operation, Tom.
All right.
What is the point of this if we're not eventually going to turn this into a late night talk show on NBC at 11:30 p.m.?
Well, I don't know why we put such strict rules about the audience remaining completely silent if you're still going to treat it like there's not a
I don't
a few
want
hundred people
their
watching.
voices on my podcast.
That's true.
Do you do meditation?
Once again, you're reading off your iPad like this is, what is your iPad even on? Or are you just miming?
I have notes, Tom.
Do you do meditation?
Do you?
I do, Tim. I mean, I know.
Regularly?
Not as I have, and I actually want to get back into a more regular practice.
Same. It's tough, though.
It is tough. And it's tough because it's one of those things. It's like a lot of things that are good for you, like eating right or taking vitamins or something, where it takes a while for you to see results. And by the time you're seeing those results, you aren't chalking them up to the good things, the good habits you've been doing. And you're like, oh, I just naturally am like good now. I don't have to brush my teeth every day. Look at how white my teeth are.
Exactly.
They're fine now. And that's the
problem solved.
Problem solved. And like, it's not even a conscious thing of like, oh, I don't think that was what did it. But you just think like, oh, I'm in good shape now. I don't need to continue doing, whatever healthy practice I've been doing.
Right. But I understand. Like, I rarely even get to that point. Like, I don't know. I don't do it consistently long enough to
see any kind of benefits.
No, not to see any kind of benefit, because I do see benefits. I don't know. It just seems like cycles, right, of a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and then off. Also, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment with my wife. And she knows that I like to meditate, and she knows that I try to get into like a daily practice of it. So like if I say like, all right, I'm gonna go in the bedroom, you stay in the living room, like don't barge in while I meditate. Like I'm still afraid that she's gonna like barge in and be like, loser, you're just sitting in a room, quiet. Not even doing anything, not even looking at your phone. Like, I'm still afraid that, like, I'm going to get, like, laughed at.
Well, first off, it sounds like you have a great marriage. And second off, I can see how that wouldn't be conducive to relaxing.
But also, like, she would never do that.
Right,
And also, like, she knows what I'm doing in there. And it's not like I'm, like, trying to impress her, like, no, I'm lifting weights in there. It's like, I'm going to go sit in a chair and be quiet.
Whenever you lift weights, you do them in front of your wife so she can be impressed.
Yeah. And
you
that's
would never
most
do
of
it
the
in
time
private.
we're together. Yeah. So anyway, Tom, there are different kinds of meditation. There's a popular one right now. It's part of the open monitoring school. Mindfulness, Tom.
Yeah, so I told you earlier, like I don't completely understand what mindful, like I on a general level understand what it is, but I don't know how you would like what the steps are to do it.
Right. So mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. It's about being present where you are while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique.
Farts?
Even farts, Tom.
Especially farts.
No. Not like farts. It's probably like number 6 on the list.
Oh, come on.
But so it's essentially the way
you're being mindful. You're thinking like, mind the gap, mind my manners, mind over matter.
Yeah. You got any more, Tom? 3? 3 is where you cap out?
No, that's a rule of 3.
Yeah.
I could do more, but it wouldn't be as funny.
No, when I did this, I mean, this is all about like not letting people are either fretting about what happened in the past or
worrying about the future.
Yeah. And this is just like,
well, that's what they say. Like anxiety and depression are the same thing. That depression's just the past. Thinking about the past, anxiety's like depression about the future.
Right. And what mindfulness is kind of saying.
Right. That has nothing to do with
No, yeah, that's right. I think that's like kind of quackery what you just said, but hey, who knows?
Well, Tim, I didn't go to 7 years of medical school. to be called a quack.
I thought you were going to say that you just didn't go to 7 years of medical school.
No, I didn't go to 7 years of medical school, and I will not be called a quack.
Fair. But mindfulness is just like, hey, yeah, depression or anxiety or whatever. Hey, stop thinking about all that.
Yeah.
And this is not to minimize people.
No,
like,
it's very easy to do. Hey, if you're depressed, just stop thinking about it.
Come on, man. What's your problem? Ever try smiling?
Yeah.
Ever try being happy all the time?
Ever try not being anxious? Idiot.
No, but it's what they're saying is like be present in the moment. Yeah, there you go. And to do that, like, takes some work, takes some concentration.
Yeah. And I would imagine take some practice.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do it right away.
And it's sitting there, and you know what a helpful thing is? Doing that thing where you go either up or down your body, and
make the xylophone sound like like all your bones are being hit by mallets.
Like in a cartoon.
Yeah.
No, this is more in your mind, Tom. Mindfulness.
You don't know that it's not true in real life.
No, it's like
you've
sitting
never
there
seen
and
a real
being like,
skeleton be hit
okay,
by a xylophone
I'm thinking
hammer.
about, I'm feeling my toes right now,
Yeah.
and you're not touching your toes with your hand.
Right.
You're thinking, and then you go like,
You're
okay, and
pretending
now
you're
the
touching
balls
them.
of my feet,
Uh-huh.
and now the heel, and like, and just focusing on how they feel at that moment. and
which
going
like
all
you
the way up.
normally don't do day to day. You're not like, oh, that's how that's how my knees feel.
And it really focuses you to how you feel. And then once you're done with that, you like try to feel your weight in the chair, which Tom is significant for you, from what I understand.
For the most part, once I would get done with this, it would be like, oh, the chair's shattered into splinters underneath me.
Once you start thinking about it, it's like the coyote going off the cliff. He
No,
can
it's
run
more
until
like
he starts thinking about it.
Like I just get too focused in the mindfulness, and I don't notice that the chair is shattered into splinters beneath me.
How often does this happen to you, Tom?
It's never happened to me.
So that's a way.
Tim, I can't even tell you, like, jokes like that, how many times, like, I've met people after live shows, and they're like, oh, like, I thought you were, like, a real big fat guy because of what Tim said. I thought you were like, you know,
maybe
like
these
500
people should
pounds.
try friggin' Googling once in a while.
Yeah. You
Anyway.
can Google, there are multiple fully nude photos of me online.
Yeah, from your Playgirl spread, right?
Yeah.
On a bearskin
You
rug.
can see my full physique.
Nice. No, so that's kind of it's forcing you into the moment, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to you feel the weight of yourself in the chair, and then you like just try to like take notice of your surroundings, but like still always. I think the one constant from all the meditation techniques that I've ever done is like if a thought ever enters your head that's like not related to like the meditation practice,
Scream at it.
you just go, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I'm meditating over
Hey, I'm
here.
trying to meditate. Quiet down. And you acknowledge it, and then you let it go. And I think that's kind of the thing with mindfulness. It's like once you start thinking about, oh, I have this thing, you go, all right, I'm thinking this thought.
And then
Get out of here.
you give it
now.
You give it a little chef's kiss, and you send it on
French
its way.
kiss the burrito and
On your way,
send it
little
out
fella.
to the customer. And then you start to notice the sounds around you.
Mm-hmm.
And not even attach any meaning to them, but just kind of like
just like Daredevil, like you get sonar.
Exactly like
you
Daredevil.
can see with your hearing.
In all the old texts, they talk about Daredevil.
Yeah.
The Ben Affleck one, though.
Right.
And that's mindfulness, and it works. And tech bros have monetized that to the point where it's meaningless and shitty, and everything is mindfulness, and they're selling you things that are supposed to calm you, but really are just subscription services that don't help you.
You're talking about apps.
Talking about apps, baby.
You're talking about, hey, there's an app for that.
Yeah, and I understand an app could be helpful for people, especially to
start
like,
out.
Yeah, and to like develop a practice and a habit and everything. But like, be careful. Like, who you're giving your money to. Like, these people are taking like often ancient or like meaningful practices,
Right.
and just like broifying them and bringing them to the masses to make like a unicorn company.
Right.
I don't like these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not. Hey, maybe they should practice what they preach.
And
Maybe they should be mindful of how they're trying to make money.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean,
There's Baldy that runs Headspace.
Jeff Bezos?
No.
There's
Different
another
Baldy.
one?
Yeah, there's another Baldy.
You think he shaved his head? Because that seems like oh, look at me, I'm bald like a monk.
Probably.
That makes me you'll buy this more.
Yeah. What he does is he takes a lot of the Buddhist teachings
Mm-hmm.
and strips them of
Religion.
anything that he thinks might be upsetting to people. So a lot of it is like accepting like that like life is made up of a lot of suffering, right? But like he doesn't like to say the word suffering.
Yeah, nobody's gonna buy a subscription where they're talking about suffering.
Yeah, or like, a lot of it is like thinking about like your ultimate death and like to be like, hey, like sand through an hourglass or whatever. Like these
so
are
wait,
the days of our
he just quotes the days of our lives.
No, but like
that's
a
even
lot
more
of the teaching
egregious.
is like how fleeting everything is. Right.
Yeah, like a lot of from my understanding, which is limited, but like a lot of Buddhist teaching is mostly like, hey, right now it doesn't matter. Like, this isn't what's important.
Like you'll be dust one day.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
right.
And this Baldy comes in and he's like, well, I'm trying to get people to spend $9.99 a month. I'm not going to tell them they're going to die one day.
Yeah, I'm going to tell them, subscribe to my app. You'll live forever.
Yeah. And then all these people have subscribed to Headspace just to hear a bald guy tell them they're invincible now. Tom, you ready to ask that question yet?
No, not yet,
All right.
Tim.
There's another
You
type
haven't suffered enough yet.
There's another type of meditation, Tom.
Yeah, well, there are lots, but popular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones that, look, this is not going to be comprehensive.
Right.
This is part 1 of 16,
Yeah.
17,000. Focused attention, and that's when you pay attention to the breath
Yeah.
or a mantra,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So are you leading me into talking about what I do?
It's seamless. This is why we don't have our NBC late night talk show yet.
Well, you can
Tom.
edit all this out. Yeah. So I practice.
You don't point out the segue.
Well, because I've never heard it talked
You
about
ever see
that
like
way. I've never heard.
Do you think friggin' Jimmy Fallon is asking Tom Cruise like, so I hear you went on an interesting vacation.
Oh, you want me
recently."
to tell the vacation story? Well, because I've never heard of it like focused breath has nothing to do with breath.
And focus attention.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. So,
No, it's either you focus on the breath or instead of like mindfulness, which is
thinking
like,
about like everything that's going on. It's
right.
different.
This
Yeah.
is focusing on a mantra or just focusing on your breath. It's focusing your attention
Yes.
on a single thing
Right.
that allows your brain to
Yeah.
do things, I guess.
So I do transcendental meditation.
Ooh, you must be rich.
I was when I took the class, and then the class bankrupted me.
Did you meet the Maharishi?
No, Timmy's dead.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but what? But once you meditated, then you met him.
yeah.
No, I did meet him.
You know the Beatles song "Sexy Sadie"?
It's about the Maharishi.
Yeah, the original lyrics were instead of "Sexy Sadie," it said Maharishi.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was after the Beatles were in India famously
Right.
when they were like writing the White Album.
Yeah.
pretty much.
But then
John
John
Lennon
got real mad at him.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
left, and it's the lyrics are "Sexy Sadie, what have you done? You made a fool of everyone. You'll get yours yet.
Mhm.
However big you think you are." Like it's all just kind of like against the Maharishi, and then George came back and was like, John,
John, we all like the Maharishi.
I'd like you not to write a song about the Maharishi that says bad things about him.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'll make it about a sexy lady.
All right, that's
he
fine.
rubbed his hands together, and then they high-fived.
Another hit.
Another hit.
Another hit for the Beetle Boys.
Another sexy song about a sexy dame from the Beetle Boys.
Yeah, so I do Transcendental. I took the class. I forget how much the class. It was maybe $700. So it was expensive.
So what this is kind of has long been in vogue with the celeb type.
Hey,
right?
ever since the Beatles, yeah. And I fancy myself a celeb type. I thought this would be a great way to network with other celebs.
David Lynch is a big advocate. He started a foundation about it.
Jerry Seinfeld is a big advocate of it. Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Like a decent amount of people you wouldn't think.
Pretty much every single successful person, either not transcendental meditation necessarily, but every single successful person claims to at least meditate.
Right. But and transcendental meditation, a lot of people.
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I didn't know him.
I
was going to say Tom Bergeron.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got to get on.
Well, I got to do this. Actually, I went to like a refresher course somewhat recently with the guy that taught. Who the hell did he teach? Somebody famous. I forget who. He name dropped it, and I was like, oh. But anyway,
David Lynch, Clint Eastwood, Paul McCartney, Martin Scorsese, Howard Stern, Ringo Starr, Jen Aniston,
nice,
Cameron Diaz, Russell Simmons, Dr. Oz, Naomi Watts, Jim Carrey. This is a regular who's who of famous people.
Where's my name on that list?
Judy Greer. Right between Judy Greer and Shirley MacLaine, right? Sure enough.
Oh, wow.
Tom Reynolds.
All right. Well, I can't complain then.
Yeah. Suzanne Steinbaum.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither. Mike Love. You gotta have to quit, Tom.
All right.
All right, sorry. Oh, Billy Gibbons. Now
Nice.
that's a shock.
Why?
I didn't think he'd be like, I'm not gonna sit down and listen to something.
I mean, I think it's only like a 3 or 4 day course, something like that.
Yeah, no, but I just feel like he'd be like, I'm not gonna do that touchy-feely stuff. I don't know what Billy.
Nobody touched me. I didn't touch anybody else either, for that matter.
Ooh, your hero Mario Batali.
Yeah. He's not the BAM guy. That's Emerald.
Yeah. Andy Kaufman. George Stephanopoulos. Well, I'm going to stop naming famous people now.
Yeah, geez, Tim, enough with the name dropping.
Yeah.
So I did this. I took the first. I started it a few years ago. You go to like 3 or 4. So
This was in downtown Manhattan.
Near Wall Street with stockbrokers.
Nice.
So the controversial thing about this is that it is expensive.
Right.
However, you are taught it like in a nice place, at least where I went, and like once you pay, that's it for life. Like you can always go back to refresher courses. I could go to any of these centers around the world and be like, hey, I want to take a room to go meditate in. And
really?
Yeah. So like I kind of get it because it's expensive, but like they've got a lot of overhead, and they like pay their teachers a fair wage. Apparently,
as far as you know,
they said that they pay their teachers along the guidelines of like what a public school teacher in that area would be paid.
Oh, okay. So not well, probably.
Not well, but like not, below the poverty line, except probably in some places. But all the teachers that I met had been teaching for like years and years. So it seemed like they were doing all right. So in that way, like I was like, all right, this is fine. And I will say, and their other big thing is that they're pretty secretive about, like you have to kind of like take an oath to be like, hey, I'm not going to tell people how this is all done.
Right.
Which I was skeptical about. However, I've since understood that it's like you kind of need somebody to teach you. It's not hard. It's very simple, but you need like it's not even like teaching. It's almost like coaching. Like you need feedback as you're doing it. Like you need to do it and then talk to somebody who's experienced with it and be like, hey, this is what happened. This is what was hard about it. And then they'll be like, oh, all right, here's what you need to do.
You're doing it wrong, you idiot.
No, that's what you would get if
Why don't you learn how to fucking think?
That's what you would get if you paid people poorly.
Yeah.
Like we have a friend that I won't name that he took the class and he's like, oh yeah, and I taught all my friends how to do it. And like that actually kind of pissed me off a little bit because I was like, well, you don't like just because somebody taught you doesn't mean you know how to teach people to do this.
Yeah.
But anyway, the way to do
Who was it? This is bothering me.
Oh, I'll tell you. I don't want to name names.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Mike Love. Yeah, no, Mike Love's been going around teaching people on the side. And it's not so much
your mantra is Aruba.
Bahama. Boy, I wish that'd be easier to remember. So here's this isn't giving away any secrets. Here's what it is. They give you a mantra, and this part is bullshit because they tell you, like, we're going to give you your mantra, and this is unique to you, and it's secret. It's not. You can Google it, and you can see, like, oh, if you're a man between, like, these ages and you have, like, this type of job, this is the mantra that they're going to give you.
Right.
I've verified that with the mantra I was given. And it's like, all right, yeah, that part's bullshit. And other people that do this type of what you were saying, like focus meditation, like they're like, oh yeah, the mantra, it just needs to be something meaningless. Like it shouldn't be like boat, because if you just repeat boat, you're going to think about boats. It needs to be something
I'm always thinking about boats,
Me
Tom.
too.
I'm a seafaring man.
I was thinking about the next boat I'm going to buy. But basically what it is you sit.
I think it's going to be a clipper in my case.
Explain what a clipper is,
It's
Tim.
a boat. Buoyant.
I don't think you've thought of this through.
In the
Tim.
water. What?
I think it's a kind of sailboat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A boat, Tom, as I said earlier. Calm down.
So you get your mantra, and basically what you do is you sit for 20 minutes, and you just repeat the mantra in your mind. And
That's different. Normally every morning you wake up and you shit for 20 minutes.
I didn't say it was in the morning. Putting words in my mouth. You just sit and you think the mantra over and over, and you focus on the mantra. And similar to what you were saying, like thoughts will come into your head, and don't push them out. You let them in, but then you let them go, and you just focus on the mantra.
Come back to the mantra.
And like you're not thinking about your breath, and in fact, you shouldn't time your breath to the mantra. Like you shouldn't, like if my mantra was Tim, I shouldn't be like Tim. Tim. That would be
more
bad.
like Tim.
Do it on the out breath.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've since read, other things about this type of meditation that, kind of takes some of the mysticism or whatever out of it.
Yeah, there's a book, right?
Yeah, I have it right here. It's called The Relaxation Response. It's from the 70s by Herbert Benson, MD.
Herbert Benson?
And with Miriam Z. Clipper with a K. The classic mind-body approach that has helped millions conquer the harmful effects of stress. I bought this on Amazon. It was like, I don't know, like $5 or something. And this is, I think, probably like a suitable replacement for going and taking the class. It's the same thing. But and I've read scientific stuff about it. Basically, it's like self-hypnosis. Like you're hypnotizing yourself. And by doing that, you're allowing, and they've done like MRI studies with like what's going on with your brain. You're kind of like telling your your prefrontal cortex, the executive.
Yeah, I know it well. You're
kind of telling it like, hey, go take a coffee break, and I'm just gonna let the brain kind of like defragment. Remember defragmenting your hard drive?
Get rid of all the space between all this stuff.
It's like, I'm just going to let this go offline for a little bit. It's going to be focused on this dumb word I'm repeating. It's going to be too focused on that to think about anything else.
Yeah.
And the rest of your brain, you're just kind of going to be like, hey, you guys use this 20 minutes, just kind of like reshuffle yourself. Maybe like, clean house a little bit.
Yeah. I think in this day and age, even just sitting, even if you're not, like, if you're sitting without stimulus.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like,
hugely helpful.
Because we just don't. This morning I woke up, Tom. Can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
I usually plug my phone in before I go to bed.
Right.
I forgot to. I mean, the real thing is, I thought it was plugged in, but it wasn't. Anyway.
I have a wireless charger. I just put it down on
Well,
that.
Tom, we're all very impressed.
Well, it's just one less step.
And I woke up and my phone was dead. And, like, I woke up, it was, like, 6 in the morning, and I was like, oh, shit, I can't look at Twitter. And, like, I just got up and just, like, had to just walk around and, like, shower and, like, do my normal thing. And I was like,
do the shit you actually have to do.
Yeah, and, like, I was ready, because there was something wrong with my phone where, like, when I plugged it in, it still wasn't turning on for a while.
Yeah, it took a little bit.
Yeah. So, like, I was ready a full, like, 45 minutes earlier than normal because, like, I just, like, did all the stuff.
Didn't have distractions.
Yeah, and it's just like, this is how, like, people used to be.
Right.
In life, like, they just, like, did the shit they
Not
needed to do.
even people. This is how you used to be.
Yeah.
Like, less than a decade ago.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I just did the stuff that I needed to do, and then I, like, had a little bit of time to, like, think or...
Yeah.
So, like, I think forcing yourself to get into a practice of just, like, being like, all right, I'm not going to look at anything. I'm not going to do anything. My brain is just going to, like, be the way that, like, it's really should be, like, 90% of the time.
No, and that's what... So the two things I like about transcendental meditation is, like, I don't know if I could do mindful meditation. I think I would get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would take a lot of effort for me. Whereas this is easy because you just have the mantra. Like, if you're getting distracted, just focus back on the mantra, and you're back at it. So that's one. I forget what the second one was. The second one was how it helps my memory. I can't. No, I honestly can't remember what the second one was. Shit. Something along those lines.
You should. Are you able to focus more?
Yes.
Are you less stressed when you do it?
Yeah. Like,
and people will be like, you know what? That's all in your head. Like, you're not less stressed. But guess what? The catch-22 of that is, if
stress is also in your head.
Exactly. So, like,
100%. Like,
if it is just a placebo, well then great, because, like, it's not medicine, so, like, the placebo effect is the best you can hope for.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it is placebo. I think a lot of it is... that's what I was going to say. Like, I think it's kind of similar to, like, not to be, like, all Joe Rogan for a minute, but, like, when we were hunter-gatherers.
All right.
Where, like, human beings had, like, a long time, I think, where it's like, well, I'm just going to sit on this rock and wait for, like, something to come along for me to throw a spear at so I can eat it. And that was, like, good for our brains to just kind of, like, well, I have to, like, I have to keep somewhat of a focus on this. I can't fall asleep.
Right.
But I'm not thinking about anything else right now. I'm just kind of... It's like it's not zoning out, but it's not zoning out.
Right.
It's a weird, you're focused, but you're also zoning out. And for me, at least, I found that it's really nice. And I've had, like, a few, it's a weird, they're also real big on, like, there's no right or wrong way to do it. And every experience is going to be better, and don't classify, like, especially while you're doing it. Don't be like, oh, this is not going well, or this is going good. However, like, I've had some meditations where, like, I come out of it, I'm like, whoa, that was weird. Like, crazy stuff started happening in there.
Yeah. You, like, your body changed.
Yeah, I grew a foot. No, not that, but almost like what I would imagine like hallucinogenic drugs would be like, where it's like, oh, that was like I can't even describe what that was like, but I was kind of not out of my body, more like in it for the first time.
I do a rip-off of that called NSR, Natural Stress Relief Meditation. and you can Google that.
Uh-huh.
Instead of like $700 to $1,000, I think it's $25, and it's online. And it's a couple people who used to be teachers, I believe.
Right, and like broke off.
Of Transcendental meditation. And the story that is not the official story on their website is that like they thought like they shouldn't be charging that much for it.
Right, yeah.
But the other thing is like they're like, oh, we found out a better way to do this, like a more effective way. And really the main difference, and I think they had to do this for legal reasons, all the Transcendental meditation mantras that they give out are 2 syllables. Can you confirm that?
Mine is at least, yes.
Yeah. And
perhaps I've said too much.
The NSR mantras are 1
5
syllable.
syllables.
No, just 1. Which you would think would be like, oh no, we'll do it 3. We'll 1-up them.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like,
but they were thinking 6-minute abs, 5-minute abs.
Right. And the other thing is like, TM says do it like 20 minutes twice a day. And they're like, do it 15 minutes twice a day.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty much the same thing. You don't get the one-on-one training.
Right.
But they give you an MP3 once you sign up, to like first guide you into it and then give you the mantra.
Yeah.
But it's also very lo-fi, right? And then they're just like, if you want to give this as a gift to somebody, don't. Like, have them do it. And I think it's because they're like, that way you'll know they'll be, like, just recommend it to them. And if they pay the nominal fee,
right,
you know they'll be dedicated to it. And if they're not, but it's just because I think they only have 1 MP3 and everybody has the same mantra.
Oh yeah, probably.
Right, and they don't want anybody.
I think that's why in TM they're also like, don't tell anybody your mantra because they don't want you to find out like half the class that you're in has the same mantra.
But I like that way more than any of the mindfulness meditation I've done, or even the ones where you the similar but where you focus on the breath.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like, and I know this is dumb as shit, but for me personally, I knew that paying a lot of money would mean that I would do it.
Right.
And like, I don't think that they ever claim that, but I've read other people say like. Yeah, and that's also what I thought about, like, with our friend who was like, no, I teach people it. I want to be like, right. And how many people do you know that you've given this 10-minute crash course, like, do this twice a day every day?
Yeah, exactly.
As a result. Like,
right.
And again, I did like, and I have gone back for refresher courses, which are free. You can just go back and be like, I forgot how to do this, or I need some help. However, like I said, this book that I'm holding, I don't know why I keep picking up when I refer to it. Nobody can see this.
You're practicing for the talk show.
The relaxation response is the same thing. So if you're the kind of person that isn't dumb like me and will do stuff without having to have some kind of financial stake in it, you can buy the book and it'll teach you the same kind of thing. But I think the idea of like a mantra-based meditation, at least for me, that's what works.
Dude,
distracts my brain.
Dude,
well, look, man. Hey, we're getting very Joe Rogan in this episode.
I come out of the meditation sessions that I do
hard as a rock.
No, I feel like kinder. Like I remember.
So I guess you don't do it before the podcast.
No, I don't actually. Because I want to be
I make
wound
a point
up.
not to.
No, but like I think another thing that gets lost in the whole meditation craze, the bro meditation craze, where it's just like you can be so much more productive.
Oh yeah, I hate that shit.
And I think it should be about like becoming better,
happier, and
happier, and like kinder, and
100%.
And I think it can do that because like it kind of resets you a little bit. It calms you down, especially now, especially here where we are in freaking America right now, where everybody's like, I came out of one of those sessions and felt like so relaxed, and this was the beginning of 2017, and I was like, was getting into fights with people on Facebook about like politics and stuff. And I just remember being like, all right, I'm going to call this one person that I got into a fight with on Facebook and like have a real conversation with them about like, you know, how we were like friends in real life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to quit Facebook.
Right.
And like, it was like, that's all, like, I was calm enough and like thinking clear enough. And like, I never would have, like, I don't know. I think it's a way to like be better and like figure out how to like be positive rather than succumb to all the negativity that is encompassing all the world.
I was gonna say I've heard and not like testimonials from any people hawking some type of meditation thing, just like pure like people who are like, I did whatever type of meditation and it helped. Where they say like, I actually like didn't think it was really making a difference, and then I like mentioned that to my wife or husband. They were like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" Like, no, you're like 10 times more bearable to be around than you were 6 months ago. Like it's 100%. I think that's what you're kind of talking about, where it's like, you kind of don't have those like quick fire reactions to things.
Yeah. Like
you're almost able to like step back a little bit and be like, no, is that how I want to respond to this? Like, like, do I want to have a bad faith response to something that somebody I care about just said to me? Or do I want to be like, oh no, I know this person's well-meaning. Let me not bite their head off.
Yeah. I think everybody just needs to calm the fuck down. Yeah. And I think this is an effective way, at least for me, to calm the F down.
Right. And if it doesn't work, there's always Scientology.
If you like the show, do the Facebook thing. I don't know how to do that, Tom. Tell him.
Well,
I quit Facebook.
Look,
I quit Facebook.
I know.
I'm great.
Oh, boy.
I meditated on it.
Yeah.
I prayed on it, and I don't know.
Quit Facebook. He doesn't have a TV.
I watch so much TV, Tom. I have a TV, and I'm so proud of my home theater setup right now, Tom. I got a 4K TV. I got one of those Sonos sound bases.
Yeah.
I'm getting another. So I have these two. So I'm gonna get surround sound. It's gonna be great. I fucking love TV, and how dare you say that I would ever say I don't own a TV? I watch it all the time. Facebook, every day.
Facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter at Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at Your Pal Tim.
You can check out our Reddit, reddit.com/r/TCGTE. You can also support our show by supporting our sponsors and checking out TCGTE.com/Amazon for your Amazon shopping, where we get a cut of a kickback. And TCGT.com/pledge for our Patreon, where we are doing our new show, Books the Podcast. It's going great. We're reading The Great Gatsby, or Tim is. He's telling me about it. I'm riveted. And you can also, you get access to our back catalog of a bunch of other mini shows. But Books the Podcast is going very well, I think. I like it a lot.
Swimmingly, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear the next chapter.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot about the Jazz Age, Tom.
Boy, I've been dying to learn more about the Jazz Age. I'm not as excited anymore. TCGT.com/pledge. Tim, let me ask you the question.
It's time.
Under what circumstances would you believe me if I came to you and told you I was in a Groundhog Day situation? Like, what would it take to convince you?
This is a great question.
Right? If I came to you, I was like, Tim.
That you were living the same day
like,
over
Tim,
and over again.
I'm living the same day over and over again.
You need to predict something.
Just how big of a thing, and just one?
I don't know you to be
Look, I don't know you very well.
Overly sincere.
Right.
Right. So if you came to me seriously, and also I know you're not some Clooney running around trying to pull pranks all the time.
Yeah.
So if I could judge that you
so
were
are
being
you telling
sincere,
me you just take me at my word?
No, and if you predicted something, like if you were like, horn's gonna honk, and then point and then a horn
It's
honks.
just a horn honk.
Yeah, because
So you're
what the
telling me
fuck?
I
Like,
would just have to get one other person to
Well,
honk a
here's the
horn.
thing. I know you're not a prankster.
Yeah.
I know you hate to be pranked. I know that you,
I'm not real interested in pranking others.
and also you're too late. You're not gonna get one other person involved in this.
Wow, what a crazy low bar.
Yeah, what? We're friends, Tom. If you tell me something, I'm gonna take you at your word.
Wow.
Why would you be trying to deceive me about this?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's not like, I'm sure if I really think it through, there's some way I could benefit by tricking you out of this. But yeah, you're right. Like in the short term, it's like, I don't know. Why would you?
And like, what are you gonna? Is it a long con? You're gonna pull a
Yeah.
long con on me, your friend of 30
Yeah,
years?
but I mean, under what circumstances? We haven't been friends for 30 years. Don't exaggerate.
20 years, I guess.
Yeah.
22 years, maybe.
But
Someday it'll be 30 years.
maybe. It depends on how this prank I'm planning goes. So under no circumstances would you like try and have me committed?
No, I don't think so.
All right. What if I was like, a horn's going to honk and it didn't? Then you would. You call 911 and get me committed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that is, like, if you insisted on it, I don't know.
But I was like, oh, it must be the butterfly effect. I've changed something, so now that horn didn't honk.
The other thing is, Tom, the issue for me is even if it's true,
Yeah.
like, I only really see you after work hours, right? So, like, it's only a few hours
Until it all resets.
for you.
Right.
And then, like, I see you the next day, the my universe you, and you're, like, if you tell me you're in a Groundhog Day situation,
Again.
you're still, like, the next day, I'm not in a Groundhog Day situation.
Yeah.
So if you tell me that on a Monday, on Tuesday I'm going to see you, and it's going to be a different day for you.
Oh, I was thinking, like, if you came to me and told me this, I would immediately have an existential fear of, like, oh, I'm going to disappear then. Like, if you're in a Groundhog's Day loop, then I'm in, like, a branch that terminates, and I'll just cease to exist.
No, that's not how it works.
I think that's how it works. Because my other idea was, like, if I was ever going to disappear completely, I would tell people I'm in a Groundhog's Day situation the day before I disappear completely. And then when I disappeared, you guys would have to tell the police, like, no indication. However, yesterday he was talking about how he was in a Groundhog Day situation. Maybe that's the truth. And yeah, he disappeared from this timeline because he went back to loop again.
I think
and then they'd never
nobody
try
would tell
and
the
find
police
me.
anything.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, or that, like tell somebody something so crazy that they'd be too embarrassed to tell the police. And
No. The implication of what I said was that nobody would care enough.
the police came around and be like, I don't know. Look, maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't.
Look,
Who
I know a
cares?
lot of people. I don't know the last time I saw them.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.